is a multi-talented singer, songwriter, dancer, actress, and model whose early 2000s hits, along with her tomboy swagged-out image, culminated in the mega success of her platinum-selling first and second albums. But after the lackluster performance of her third and fourth albums, by the early 2010s, many people wondered if her relevancy in music had run its course. But after a multitude of trials, delays, and shortcomings, her setbacks served for a major comeback, eventually fighting her way back to the forefront. And in today's episode of the Triumphant Arise series, we will explore her 2013 triumphant return to music, address her many highs and many lows, really showcasing the duality of life, and how her personal affairs during this time period would ultimately become the main topic of discussion surrounding Ciara's namesake for well over a decade now. If there are any other artists you'd like to see covered in the Triumphant Arise series, please leave your suggestions in the comments below. But in order for us to get started, we gotta take it back to December of 2010, when Ciara released her long-awaited fourth album, Basic Instinct, which had already faced several delays due to many of its songs being leaked ahead of time. She had released its 3 singles ahead of the album. All 3 were bops, but only one single received moderate success, and that was her hit song Ride, which featured Ludacris, and was the #1 song added to urban radio at that time. She'd drop a video for it, but due to its lyrical content and steamy imagery that was too hot for some to handle, the visual would be banned from appearing on 106 & Park countdowns and BET altogether, which greatly stunted the song's momentum. It was also banned from all UK TV channels after receiving a 12 rating on the British Board of Film Classifications, which is equivalent to PG-13 in the US. The remaining singles, Speechless and Gimme Dat, were underrated and barely promoted, and by the time this album dropped, it debuted on the Billboard 200 at number 44, with only 37,000 copies sold in the first week, which was a major disappointment, selling less than a quarter of what her previous albums had sold. She told the LA Times, "When you think about the first week's sales and performance, you don't really think about that because I'm in this for the long run. I'm in this to build a brand. I'm in this to one day, hopefully, be known as a solid touring act." Unfortunately, the sales only continued to dwindle, and Basic Instinct quickly became her lowest selling album of her career at that point, and her label offered her no support. So just 2 months after the album was released, Ciara penned a letter to Facebook titled "My Time to Speak," where she revealed that her label at the time, Jive Records, hadn't financially supported her with her third and fourth albums, writing, "The past 2 albums have been very frustrating for me. At times there were songs I chose to lead a project and I was ignored. This project, I even tried to get Gimme Dat started. I spent tens of thousands of my own money only to hear the radio PDs tell me that my label didn't want the song being played on the radio. I spent more than $100,000 out of my pocket on the video to bring my vision to it, and still no label support. I do understand that some labels are not financially supporting their artists, and I have become one of them. I'm dedicated to my music, performance, and to my fans. I've tried to be a team player with the label only to have compromised what I truly believed and was not given the right opportunity to promote and inform my fans of the release of this album." She then publicly asked to be released from Jive on February 14th, 2011, and 3 months later they did just that, leaving behind any further promotion of the current singles or any chance of future singles from the project, which had some pretty great music on it. I mean, this album and its multitude of unreleased cuts like I Don't Care, Flaws and All, and the Japanese bonus track called This Is What Love Is provided a sweet escape from a grim reality that I was personally dealing with at that time, and I thank Ciara for creating these gems that got me through that. Unfortunately, Ciara's image took a massive hit in the public eye around this time. Radio hosts, bloggers, and tabloids just couldn't let go of that 37K number.
Because we need you to do better than Ciara.
Oh.
That's all I'm praying for Carrie to do better than Ciara.
Ouch.
Ciara only sold 30-something thousand records.
No, but you know,
They friends now.
So,
Yeah.
the truth is the truth. She only sold 30-something. You want to do better than Ciara. Come on.
I would like to do,
great numbers.
Yes.
higher than 35. I mean, everyone would.
It was actually 37.
Okay, 37.
Give her extra
Great.
2,000.
Ciara would make many award show appearances, like at the Grammys, but with 0 nominations, and at many party events, but was given the cold shoulder. At one event in particular, her industry peer, Rihanna, acted as if she no longer knew her.
I ran into her recently at a party, and she wasn't the nicest. And it's crazy because I've always loved and respect what she's done with fashion, and I've ran into her, before. But this time it was just really, it wasn't the most pleasant run-in. So, bitch. Next. You were crazy.
Now, when Rihanna saw this clip from eFashion Police, she tweeted Ciara saying, "My bad, C. Did I forget to tip you? How rude of me." Ciara would respond back saying, "Trust me, Rihanna, you don't want to see me on or off the stage." Then Rihanna replied, "You gangsta, huh? Ha! Good luck booking that stage you speak of," which at that time had become one of the most talked about clapbacks on Twitter, and only reiterated the notion that Ciara had fallen off. She'd reply back, "Pure comedy," and the two did make amends, but the damage was done. Mind you, Rihanna once opened up for Ciara, but now Twitter Nation was officially tracking the memo that Ciara is done for, and anything she did moving forward would be scrutinized. She would appear on the remix to Mindless Behavior's hit single, My Girl, which also featured rappers Tyga and Lil Twist. And for the kids, it was a nice little jam. I actually like that version better than the original. But to adult audiences, it looked as if she was grasping at straws at this point. She then went on a bit of a hiatus from music and spent more time hanging with the Kardashians, appearing on their show, and particularly hanging around Kim, who had thrown Ciara a surprise birthday party for her 25th birthday, and Ciara helped blow out the candles for Kim's 30th birthday celebrations, as well as attending her wedding. They appeared everywhere together, and it seemed as though Ciara was now prioritizing fashion and other ventures with being seen, rather than singing.
Since you've been out there, we haven't seen you coming in and out of studios, but we do see you coming in and out of a lot of stores and hanging out with your friends and with fancy cars and stuff. Ciara is part of what they call the LA clique of cool girls.
That is so funny.
Kardashians, Lala Vasquez, and that whole, look at you guys. Yeah.
In the summer of 2011, after Ciara went on the Malibu Rum tour with pop artist Tayo Cruz, she reunited with L.A. Reid, who was credited as being the one who discovered her, and who is now the CEO of Epic Records. Ciara would announce in September that year that she had signed a brand new deal with Epic, and was excited to be working on new material for her next album, but that she was going to take her time on this project, and a full 8 months would pass before any new information was made available. During this time, a Greatest Hits album was announced, which almost seemed counterproductive and further fueled retirement rumors. But the package called Playlist, the very best of Ciara, was one of many playlist packages that were covering a multitude of artists around this time, though the collection would also be pushed back several dates and was missing hits like her smash single Oh, which was crazy because its cover uses the same photo as the single's artwork. Weird. And other songs on this collection, such as Like a Boy, were only available in a dance remix format, and wasn't nobody trying to hear that. Also, Ciara's long-awaited musical, called Mama, I Wanna Sing, in which she stars as the main character in the film, was finally premiering, but only on DVD, after years of post-production mishaps. The film, however, would be universally panned, as the plot was all over the place, and the film overall was very low budget. Ciara would take the brunt of the criticism, as though her character was supposed to be a powerhouse singer, Ciara herself is not. Therefore, she only sang on some of her vocal performances in the film. Other times, she was lip-syncing to another vocalist, which naturally garnered a negative reception from some audiences. And to add insult to injury, none of the songs that Ciara recorded for this film would appear on its official soundtrack, which had been released over a year before the film itself had even premiered. So some people were already skeptical going into the film. The only highlights from most critics were the performances by the legendary singer Patti LaBelle and legendary actress Lynn Whitfield. Thankfully, not many people know of this film's existence, so it wasn't a major stain on CeCe's name, but it is one that many of us Ciara fans just don't talk about. However, things would pick up in late spring of 2012, and Ciara will go on to be featured in the R-rated comedy flick That's My Boy with Adam Sandler, and she played Bree, who ended up being the girl that Andy Samberg's character falls in love with, and she was looking good. Okay then. During the press tour, she would announce that she was putting finishing touches on her new album, now titled One Woman Army.
I'm so proud of this record. This is my first album that I'm getting to do in its entirety with L.A. Reid. I know he really believes in me, and that's something you always hold on to, and he's my friend too, so it's like a combination of so many great things happening in one. That's one reason to say why it's special, but One Woman Army for me is the most vulnerable I've ever been in my life. This record, I really opened up, and you're gonna get to feel that and also get ready to have a lot of fun and dance.
The theme of this album was to incorporate elements of urban pop, which she dubbed Army Pop. She grew up as an Army brat who was exposed to many different cultures, so she wanted this project to have a universal feel and a wide range of eclectic sounds that were still cohesive. And her fan base, known as C Squad, will be taken on a full roller coaster over the course of a year to get to our destination. The verse single was called Sweat, which featured 2 Chainz, who had just broken into the mainstream at this point, though Ciara had known 2 Chainz for years as they were both from Atlanta and had mad love for each other. He was a rapper formerly known as Titty Boy. He had even made an appearance in Ciara's music video with Phil Mobb called So What back in 2006. So now, more than ever, was perfect timing for the two to collab. The song premiered online on June 4th, 2012, and is an up-tempo, bass-heavy song. It's been described as raw and gritty, and a throwback to Ciara's old roots, particularly drawing comparisons to Like a Boy. It was the perfect intro to an Army-themed project, really put you in the mind of a mission, and it quickly found its way on the workout playlist. It was scheduled to be released via iTunes on June 18th, 2012, and to radio stations the next day. But almost immediately upon release, the song would be yanked from radio stations without apparent rhyme or reason. Ciara's team pulled the plug on the single's entire rollout and any chances of a music video. While C Squad were left scratching their heads, Ciara told the fans not to fret and that she still had a ton of new music on the way. Wanting to do right by the fans, on August 4th of 2012, she posted a handwritten letter, which consisted of song lyrics, and she ended the note with Sorry, 820. So on August 20th, she released her brand new single called Sorry, which was set to serve as the official lead single for this new album. The song is an R&B ballad that samples Genuine's Differences and was reminiscent of her 2006 hit Promise. It would go on to peak at number 6 on the US Hot Dance Club Songs chart, but was a minor hit elsewhere, peaking at number 42 on the R&B charts and missing the Hot 100 chart completely. The song also received mixed reviews from music critics, some of whom praised its lyricism and vocals and saw it as Ciara's return to her best sound, while others criticized it for sounding watered down and felt that it didn't live up to the standards set forth by Ciara's past hits. But Ciara was far from discouraged, and around this time she became quite the teaser. She had already dropped a 30-second snippet of a new song called Overdose, which was very pop-heavy, and the fans ate it up and were immediately craving the rest of it. Also, another song she recorded, called How We Do It, would be featured in the film Think Like a Man. However, the full song wasn't present on the film's official soundtrack, so it became yet another snippet lost in the abyss. Then rumors began swirling about a new song she did with Rick Ross called Boy Outta Here, and everyone was amped over that one. But whenever she was asked about it, she'd blush and keep it hush. She had hosted a few listening parties to get a few opinions on the project. Listeners got to hear the full version of Overdose, which was described as having excellent production. One reviewer said this is quite a catchy song, and in true Ciara style, it may lead you to take a step or two. They also spoke on other songs that they heard, saying that Wash Away is another romantic song. The single has a familiar sound and is quite forgettable. Running is a catchy tune with a fresh and lively feel, while the title track, One Woman Army, may have the potential to be a hit single. Now, Ciara would go on to premiere a snippet of this One Woman Army song at the annual Black Girls Rock Awards in October of 2012. She also sang her latest single, Sorry, and brought out Missy Elliott to perform her new joint called Ninth Inning. They won the crowd over and proved that Ciara had staying power, and she would embark on a few international tours while performing teasers of her new music in between sets, like the song Only One, which was reminiscent of her idol Janet Jackson. Also, the producer Hit Boy had told MTV News, "I did a record for Ciara, and it's called Hit Boy. It was written by Sounds. He's amazing, so be on the lookout for that." Hit Boy had described the sound as energetic for the club and for the radio. At this point, any full-length new songs would come in the form of leaks, like the song Sophomore, which had been leaked by DJ Orator, aka I Leak Records, or in the form of compilations like Cosmopolitan's Epic Records playlist, which had featured 9 new songs by mostly female artists, and track 5 was a song by Ciara called Living It Up, which is an island-flavored feel-good track about enjoying life and living it to the fullest. I immediately fell in love with this song when I heard it, and could easily hear it being played at shopping malls or resort hotels, just at any getaway destination. It gave vacation vibes too. She incorporated the from Kid and Play's joint, Rollin' with Kid and Play. It quickly became a fan favorite, and the website Digital Spy had reported that the song was expected to receive its radio premiere in the coming weeks, and that Ciara had already filmed its accompanying music video. But this wouldn't be the case, and instead a new joint called Got Me Good would be released as the official second single for the One Woman Army album, though they pushed back the release date to allow for her first single, Sorry, to be sent to rhythmic radio outlets in hopes for a better chart performance. Ciara felt that both singles served as the album's dual leads, stating those two just make a cool marriage. Got Me Good is living in the moment of being got good, like when someone makes you feel real good and no one can make you feel like they make you feel. So it's You Got Me Good, then it's You Had Me Good, and then it got to a point where a sorry was necessary. The video for Got Me Good was shot in the desert and was directed by Joseph Kahn, who had directed her 2006 video Get Up. It featured several dancers and included the popular dance group 8 Flavors, which consisted of teens and tweens, and the group had just placed second on America's Best Dance Crew, so you know them girls was getting it. Ciara said that it had gotten up to 108 degrees Fahrenheit out there, but they did that, and of course Ciara giving us Michael and Janet vibes in her moves. Overall, it was a dope video, and one of my all-time favorites by her. Critics called it an ode to late 90s and early 2000s videos, with dance vibes reminiscent of artists like Britney Spears, Christina Aguilera, and Maya. The music video premiered on the Sony Jumbotron in New York City's Times Square on Ciara's birthday. She also performed the song live on the VH1 Divas special during her tribute to Michael Jackson. The song itself had received rave reviews from critics and listeners alike. Sites like Pop Crush had noticed that the song was garnering most of the votes from their users and several spins on their radio. The song had all the right workings to be a smash hit, but for reasons that don't make sense whatsoever, Got Me Good failed to chart worldwide, only appearing in the bubbling undercharts in Belgium.
Oh my god, bro. Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck?
Ciara was now 3 attempts in, and none of these singles did anywhere close to what the label was shooting for. So all 3 would be scrapped from the project, and Ciara would go back to the drawing board on the album's concept. But soon, romance would breathe new life into this era.
It's just me and you.
Remix.
Girl, it's just me and you.
What?
I know you're gonna be mine, right?
Oh, is that right? How you know?
I saw it.
Really?
Yeah. I was like, dang, she look good, man. Like I said, I'm gonna have her one day. He was like, man, stop and say something to her. I said, nah, I ain't gonna say nothing. I'm gonna be with her one day. But that was 7 years ago, and I was saying that, and it ended up happening. Like, but I never met her, never listened to any of her songs, never read up on her. Don't call me the future for no reason.
Okay, well, we'll see about that, Mr. Future.
We will see. I'm gonna see you inside.
I'll see you inside.
Ciara began a relationship with rapper Future, who, much like 2 Chainz, had taken off to new heights in 2012 with his hit, Turn on the Lights. Well, Ciara would jump on the remix and put her own spin on the second verse and hook to the song. And it's the only version I listen to now. And Future would return the favor, appearing on a brand new remix to Ciara's song Sorry, which would come with a whole new beat and new vocals. In my opinion, this version was even better than the first, and it would be sent to Urban Radio in December of 2012. By the top of 2013, Ciara had dropped a new joint produced by Mike Will Made It called Wake Up No Makeup.
Wake up, no makeup. Wake up, no makeup. Wake up, no makeup. Wake up, get turned up. M.A. bag, Prada bag, I don't even know. Louis on, lace on, I don't know what goes. I don't know what goes. 50 on a presidential rolling and it's goes.
Now this joint had generated her a lot of buzz, to the point where she was being asked about it in every interview. That joint was hot, especially for the time. Over time, as she established a new sound with new producers, she revealed that she had dropped the one-woman army concept, and that her new album was simply to be titled
Ciara.
She said, as we were moving along, I started to make a different creative turn. I found some new inspiration along the way. So the one-woman army movement still exists, and it's still a part of who I am because it represents my strength and my struggles and my journey. However, the best way for me to title the record at the time period or at this moment was simply Ciara. I can sometimes be afraid of my own vulnerability, but this time I let myself face it. I let myself feel. I let myself be real. I let myself hurt and be healed. Now starting fresh, the new lead single was called Body Party, and boy did it lead. A slow-tempo R&B song that samples Ghost Town DJ's My Boo, the single released in March of 2013 shot all the way to number 1 on the US Dance Club chart, number 6 on the Hot R&B Hip Hop chart, and number 22 on the Hot 100. Rolling Stone would rank this song number 22 for the best songs of 2013, and it was the highest R&B song on that list. Also, Pitchfork had ranked it number 5 on the top 100 tracks of 2013. It was eventually certified double platinum, making it Ciara's official comeback single. There were 3 main remixes for this song: the uptempo mix, which featured Future and B.O.B., Dave Odd's dance mix, and you know Neo had to come through on the Gentleman's remix.
Oh, girl, you should know that love is my favorite dish. You want it, your mind belong. Just lay back and let me grant your wish.
Body Party would later win the Soul Train Award for Best Dance Performance and the ASCAP Rhythm and Soul Award for Best R&B Song. The music video features Ciara and her dancers at a party with a host of other celebrities, and features open dialogue between Ciara and Future, who initially meet at this party.
So you've been watching me.
You're not hard to miss.
Neither are you.
Now this part always tripped me up, because if you're not hard to miss, wouldn't that mean that it's easy to miss you? You know what, never mind. The scene then changes to Ciara and Future in a bedroom where Future is sat smoking a cigar while Ciara is giving him a private seductive dance. This music video was praised by fans, critics, and even rapper Nicki Minaj, who highlighted its choreography on Twitter. The video reached number 1 on the BET countdowns and was nominated for Best Choreography at the VMAs, and was listed in Billboard's Best 20 Music Videos of the 2010s decade so far. The video solidified the pair as a couple, and they soon got matching tattoos of their first initials on their ring fingers too. Oh, they were serious with it. On the Wendy Williams show in May of 2013, Ciara had said, "I'm very happy. I've always been so reserved, more private. But this day in my life, I'm so comfortable in my skin and I feel so good about where I am, and I'm very confident and comfortable in the way that he loves me. It's only going to get better and better and better." But while Ciara was high on life, you know them haters couldn't let your girl be great. Ciara? Thriving? Oh, that can't be. Haters flooded social media claiming that Ciara was using vocal enhancements in the studio and that she couldn't really sing. But while she was in Paris, she decided to upload an a cappella rendition of her new single.
My body is your party, baby. Nobody's invited but you, baby. Me and you alone now, tell me what you want. Baby, put your phone down, you should turn it up. 'Cause tonight is going down, tell your boys it's going down. We in a zone now, don't stop. My body is on the party, baby.
Somebody give her a note for her note.
When Rihanna and her homegirls caught wind of the video, Rihanna's friend Melissa had posted a photo of them watching it with a grin and hashtagged it Body Party Bathroom Acapella Version. Ciara, initially thinking they were showing support, retweeted it, but after it became apparent that they were being shady and mocking her, she responded in her next tweet, "I don't have time for the silliness. Grow up and do something positive with yourselves for once. God bless."
I don't know what it is, and at this point, I don't care. We're women in this, it don't need to be all that. Like, she's got too much good going on to even be consumed with that kind of energy, so I don't know. I wish.
I appreciate you saying that and you not being scared, because a lot of people are like, the reason why Ciara doesn't talk about it is because she's scared.
Not at all.
I don't have beef with anybody.
Okay.
But I'm not gonna be disrespected either.
Yeah.
I don't know what her problem. I think she's nuts right now. Like, whatever's going on.
Rihanna would reply back to all of this, saying, "Why am I still the main topic of her interviews? She don't be shamed though? How she let them play her like that every time? It's like, yeah, I know you're here to talk about insert album title, but we want to talk about a more relevant topic. Rihanna." Well, it's not like Rihanna didn't insert herself into the situation. I mean, come on. But also around this time, Ciara's biggest hater, Charlamagne, felt the need to let the world know that Ciara's music career been over and that this little body party jingle ain't changing that.
My nickname for Future and Ciara is Future in the Past. Future is clearly the future and Ciara is clearly the past. I think the new record is cool, but I think it's Body Tap or Body something. That record's cool, but I just think, man, she's run a course. That's it, and it's not a bad thing. Like sometimes, man, that music game is like the NFL. You know how they say the NFL is an acronym for not for long. Like, you get you a nice run, you hope to make as much money possible in that run, get you as much guaranteed money as possible, and you get out.
But Ciara couldn't be bothered with the online foolishness. She had press tours, promo shoots, and music to promote, as she was in her zone. Unfortunately, she'd also catch flack from one of the venues when she backed out of a performance at the Factory, which is a popular Los Angeles nightclub, because she was granted the golden opportunity to headline the LA Gay Pride Festival. Her team claimed that they had given the club plenty of notice that Ciara wasn't going to be there, but the club still promoted Ciara as if she were coming. So her team tweeted, "The only place Ciara will be at this weekend is headlining the Gay Pride Festival. All other advertisements are false. Team Ciara." So representatives for that club decided that they was going to pull up to her performance and they was going to sue her for breach of contract. In a video obtained by TMZ, as Ciara was performing her hit single Promise, at the point where she says, "You can be my teacher, I'll do homework," a woman in the crowd handed Ciara a piece of paper. Ciara grabbed it, likely thinking that it was a fan letter, only to realize that she had just been served.
What the hell? Oh my God.
She got served. She threw it away. She got served though.
What's wrong?
When I tell you, being a member of C Squad was not for the weak, y'all. They stayed gunning for our fave, man. It was crazy being a Ciara stan in those days. She would appear alongside Pharrell Williams, Mac Miller, Schoolboy Q, Iggy Azalea, Chance the Rapper, and other popular celebrities in a very live, very hype MySpace ad, as they were trying to bring the site back.
Check us out on MySpace.
But this wouldn't work, and MySpace remains inactive to this day. Wasn't nobody trying to go back to that. Amidst the ebb and flow, Ciara continued to keep her music at the forefront, dropping her next single, I'm Out, which was a flaming hot collaboration with Nicki Minaj, who opened the song with one of the most critically acclaimed verses of her entire career. I mean, she went all the way in, to the point where she literally had to catch her breath on the song. But this song would shoot straight to number 13 on the R&B charts and eventually went gold, and would also be featured in the Think Like a Man sequel and on the film's official soundtrack too this time around. The song's music video was one for the books, with CeCe and Nicki paying homage to Michael and Janet's scream visual and showing Ciara in a few steamy solo scenes of her own. It would premiere at the BET Awards pre-show right before Ciara and Nicki performed the song live, along with Ciara's live performance of Body Party. And as per usual, CeCe tore up that stage. She would do a multitude of live performances of both songs on all the hotspot morning shows, getting everyone amped for her upcoming album. And on July 9th, 2013, Ciara would officially release her 5th studio album, titled
Ciara.
And it was an amazing body of work. So we're going to get into each of the album's cuts, one time for the one time. The album's opener was none other than the single I'm Out, which some critics called the best cut on the album. Ciara was praised for returning to her urban roots on this one and not playing it safe. The song is about a breakup, but instead of being sorry, Ciara is hitting the party scene, and this song is a club banger. When you hear it, you can't help but get live. It marked as the 3rd time Ciara and Nicki worked together, as the first time was on the song I'm Legit off of Nicki's Re-Up EP that had released months earlier. And after clearing vocals for another Ciara song, Nicki asked Ciara to play her some of the new material that she was working on. Immediately upon hearing the beat for I'm Out, Nicki was like, oh, this is infectious, and just had to jump on it. A great opener indeed. Track 2, Sophomore, was leaked early on, but this album version uses slightly different instrumentation and doesn't have a breakdown on the pre-chorus like in the original version. This song was a seductive groove where Ciara is the teacher and her lover is the student. Using clever and witty metaphors, she's gonna take him to school. I love that record. Then you have Body Party, which is the biggest hit for a multitude of reasons. Just an all-around classic anthem that will go down in music history as one of the best R&B hits post-2010. Track 4, Keep On Looking, was a song about dudes staring her down everywhere she goes because she is so fine. Annoyed, she tells them boys to keep on looking, cause what she got, you can't have. For the fans, it's a song that either you love or you don't. Track 5, Read My Lips, was more of a cutesy, lighthearted track that makes you want to make out. It quickly became a favorite amongst the fans. Although my personal favorite would be the next track, Where You Go, which was sonically different than any of Ciara's previous releases. Produced by Mike Will Made It for Future's upcoming project, Ciara overheard it being played in the studio, and she asked Future to have it, and they decided to make it a duet. And though it took me some time getting used to Future's style of harmonizing, I guess, in general, this track grew on me quickly, from its instrumentation to Ciara's vocals, to its overall uniqueness. However, it was almost otherworldly, leaving some fans feeling a bit alienated with the sound. Again, either you loved it or you didn't. The next track, Super Turned Up, was probably the most widely talked about song aside from Body Party, for its radio-friendly production that was all the rave and similar to what all the #1 hit songs had at that time. Now the song itself would feature
Ciara.
That's right, she went 3rd person on that ad, as this time she would perform her own rap, similar to what Monica did on her So Gone single. This track had every working to be the 3rd or 4th single on this project. A lot of people tuned in for this particular track and they loved it. Track 8, DUI, is probably the most overlooked yet beloved track on the album.
In the middle of the highway, me and my bird, R. Kelly on the radio, let it play. It's funny, I ain't even drink yet, and I'm so intoxicated, I think I'm over my limit. When you're near me, your hands on my thigh, my hands on the wheel and the other. I'd rather not mention I'm running every line. I can't concentrate on the road, losing all control, all because I'm been under the influence of your love.
Track 9, Living It Up, which was released earlier, would also find its way on the album, which I was really happy about. though this version features a rap from Nicki Minaj, making it her second one to appear on the album. However, this was the song that Ciara initially wanted her for, so it was after Nicki completed her rap for this song that she would hear I'm Out. But Living It Up became one of the most streamed songs on this album, to the point where it charted in other countries, going all the way to number 2 in South Korea, selling over 1 million copies in just the first week alone. About a month in, it was up to 3 million copies sold. Whoa, Ciara should have definitely jumped on that. The song was featured in Being Mary Jane, and Billboard magazine ranked Living It Up at number 57 on its list of 100 best deep cuts by 21st century pop stars. Well, okay then track 10. Oh man, the long-awaited lover's anthem, Overdose, was finally released in full, and when I tell you, the fans and critics ate this track all the way up. I mean, many critics went on to publish campaigns for this track to be released as a single, and many publications deemed this track to be the big pop crossover hit that Ciara was needing. Billboard deemed Overdose as the best song on the album. Idolater stated that if there is any justice on the charts, this song will be a radio smash. Then there was even a Dave Lux remix of the song that had become quite popular on YouTube and SoundCloud, so many listeners felt that it would behoove Ciara to make it the next single. Now, though the standard edition of this album had just the 10 tracks, many versions had the Body Party remix with Future and B.O.B. as track 11, which was more up-tempo than the original song. I like that version too, it made me want to dance. But iTunes at the time had a bonus track called Backseat Windows Up. That's the way that we like to, well, you know the rest. And it was a steamy love-making joint. And if you got your CD at Target, like I did, you got 2 extra tracks. The aforementioned joint with Rick Ross called Boy Outta Here finally made its way onto the album, but only on this version. Now, it did get some airplay on local Atlanta radio stations, but it should have had a full radio release, man. It was like the No Scrubs of 2013. It would have done numbers for sure. Then lastly, there was track 13, the dance pop One Night With You, which could have easily found its way on any 2010s teen film soundtrack or a house party. And on the breakdown, she even gives an ode to her Body Party single. It was a great way to end the album. She also released special edition bundles of her album on her website, which came with additional prizes. The album's sales, however, were affected by the project being leaked 3 weeks before it actually released, because the label accidentally released the album on Ciara's online store before removing it a few minutes later. And then there was the fact that Jay-Z had dropped his highly anticipated album, Magna Carta Holy Grail, at the same time, which took up most of the musical conversation. Still, the album managed to shoot to number 2 on the albums chart, right behind his, which was an amazing feat, even with the first week's sales being at just under 60K. This album was executive produced by Ciara, L.A. Reid, and Future. And for its promotion, Ciara would spend the entire week on 106 & Park, doing a live performance each day and releasing short visuals for the album's songs. Now, her live performances included some of her past hits, and she brought out artists like Ludacris to perform O, and B.O.B. to perform his rap on the Body Party remix. Those performances were praised. However, her performance and visuals for Super Turned Up would be ridiculed by online spectators after she wore a coat with the Hermetic Order of the Golden Dawn on the back, which has ties to the occult and Freemasonry, and several videos would accuse Ciara of practicing witchcraft. And a few of the fans was like, damn girl, did you really have to wear that? This, coupled with people trying to drum up drama between Ciara and the hosts, Bow Wow and Angela Simmons, as Bow Wow dated both women at different points in his life. But Ciara wasn't bothered by any of this.
It's a lot of craziness that you do see, and it goes from the sexual stuff to the hatred stuff.
Right,
to,
well that, of course.
Of course, the love.
Right.
Lately, it's been a lot of love, so I have to say that.
Now, fans would vote on which song they wanted to be the third single. Most of the votes centered around the songs Super Turned Up, Read My Lips, Overdose, and Living It Up. But with Ciara releasing video shorts, this provided a way of giving the fans a taste of what a video would look like with each song, as she wanted visuals to accompany the music. A great move, a genius move even. The caveat, however, was that whatever song she did for the visual would not be released as a full single. So, in the beginning, she had dropped shorts for Super Turned Up, Keep On Looking, and Sophomore, before dropping video shorts for Living It Up, DUI, and Read My Lips. That only left track 6, Where You Go, and track 10, Overdose. That's when it was announced that Where You Go would serve as the third single for the US markets, while Overdose would be sent to overseas markets, and that the fans would be getting full-length videos for both. and everyone who had been following CeCe was excited for this. Where You Go's instrumental and acapella would be released for fans to enjoy, and I was extremely grateful for that instrumental, by the way. Thank you for that, CeCe. But an official single would be scrapped though, as Ciara decided to make Overdose the official third single in all territories. She said that her fan base had played a considerable role in the song being chosen as the single. It was also noted that thousands of C-Squad members had rallied the single release for several months, and one critic commented, "Having faffed for a bit, Ciara has finally come to her senses." Another critic published an article entitled, "Ciara finally makes Overdose a single and restores faith in humanity." The artwork for this single became a heated topic of discussion for its provocative nature of Ciara's hand placements on Future's body, which coincided with the theme of the song. However, Epic was taking their sweet time with the release dates, pushing an October release for the States and a December release for the international markets. And by then, she had found out that she was 3 to 4 months into her pregnancy with her first child, whom she would name after Future. With this, the label had felt no need to invest in a music video, and all further promotion of the single's release was halted, marking the official end of this era. Overdose did manage to reach the mainstream R&B hip-hop chart, peaking at number 33, but in the end, only 4 music videos will be released from this entire Ciara era. 2 that didn't make the album, and only 2 that did. Though this album had so much more than the world will ever recognize it for, its potential was cut short. They could have at least gotten 3 or 4 more good singles in. I must say that this album, tied with The Evolution, are my favorite full-length efforts from her. Now Ciara would go on to embrace preparing for motherhood, and debuted a new duet with Future called Anytime, which she had released to streaming platforms, and which she had sang live while pregnant at the 2014 Grammys after party. Unfortunately, as much as she was in love with Future, they would have a very public, very nasty split, and maintained a tumultuous back and forth in the media over the years. But Ciara meeting the love of her life, NFL quarterback Russell Wilson, just 2 months after the birth of her son, would inspire hit singles like I Bet in 2015. You see, on the Sorry remix from that 2013 era, Future rapped the words, "I coulda told you sorry, but I bought the Rari." In this new single, I Bet, Ciara sings, "So you bought me a car, he can buy that too." Ciara's unreleased song, One Woman Army, would find its home on the special edition of her 2015 album, Jackie, along with a new version of the song Only One, which I don't even think is the same song, to be honest. They just have the same name. As for that original song called Only One that she had performed live, along with the full version of How We Do It, and the other songs, Wash Away and Runnin', all of their fates are locked away in the vaults over at Sony, and it's unlikely that they will ever see the light of day. And as for that other song, Hit Boy, it would be scrapped, and the beat was actually given to Kendrick Lamar for his song, Backseat Freestyle. And though I would have loved to have heard what Ciara would have done with it, I honestly can't imagine anyone else on that beat. So everything happens for a reason. Now Charlamagne may have dogged Ciara out by saying that she was equivalent to the NFL's Not For Long, but she did go on to marry the highest paid NFL player in the game, which would inspire yet another hit, Level Up, in 2018, and that song became a whole dance anthem. In 2019, her past single, Ride, would go platinum, and her song, Sorry, that was overlooked all those years ago, is also currently eligible for a platinum certification after passing that million mark. Okay then. And in 2022, that Dave Lux remix of Overdose would start to make its rounds on TikTok and would be re-uploaded to YouTube, where it amassed over 9 million views, becoming the most popular version of that song. Got Me Good has also made a lasting impression on the TikTok trends. At the present time, you can catch Ciara with Missy Elliott and Busta Rhymes on Missy's Out of This World tour, and Ciara had just performed at the ESPYs the other night. All in all, she has left her mark on the R&B world and on the dance community, and she remains a beacon for all aspiring dancers. And her 2013 era defined her staying power, and that sometimes you just gotta pop out and show niggas. And Cece ain't afraid to do that every now and again. This is Justified by Jury. Y'all know how to hit that like, and y'all know how to hit that subscribe. If you want to, do so. And I'ma catch y'all in the next video.